Hustle's brother Black Sam tells who really tried to stop their business. This is really truly eye-opening.
CM Amnesia, and like many of you, we watched Nipsey Hussle's celebration of life ceremony and were moved by all of the tributes and salutes that people gave to him. One of the most emotional speeches was from his brother, Black Sam, who not only gave us more insight into who Nipsey Hussle was as a person, but also told us exactly who really tried to stop their business. Come on in and let's talk about it. Great tribute. But one of the things that sort of stood out to me, because everybody's trying to make sense of what happened, and it's very wrapped up because what went on happened at the business location, is what was going on with that business and who really didn't want them to have the business. So let's take a listen at what he actually says in his own words about the business.
He used to sell CDs off the trunk. You know, he used to be in that parking lot, and they used to try to kick him out of the lot. And y'all know what we went through with the police in that lot. And I don't know if anybody knows, we had got a 30-day notice. And they was kicking us out of all the businesses that we own in the lot.
So after Nipsey Hussle died, a lot of the people were talking about his business acumen and how, he empowered us to think differently and to try to get into business and become more entrepreneurs and have that spirit to help out the community in ways that he was doing it.
Beautiful.
Right. And, the thing that stands out to me is just that he grew up in that community or frequented it as a young person and was, actually just being kind of kicked out as he tried to sell his mixtapes and stuff in the parking lot and everything. And then he goes on to buy it. But who actually tried to stop this business before it could even really get off the ground there?
Well, according to Black Sam, it is the DA and the police department.
The owner was like, "Man, I'm so sorry." The district attorney and the police, they putting pressure on us. They said we could lose this property if we don't kick you guys out the lot.
That same police department and those officials from that city who try to big up Nipsey Hussle and talk about how the great things that he was doing, those are the same people who throughout the time, even leading up to this, were trying to stifle that business. Because if you even go further back to when he was a kid and, you just around the neighborhood and you trying to find a place to be and do all those hustles that the brother talked about, you always get those same police departments and officials who don't like us being in, the areas where we grow up and we live.
Right, and who want to harass us and stuff like that. And what I also thought was interesting was that in spite of all of what's going on, and let me just clear this up. There were people who, they were confused about ownership of this business because it was unclear whether he owned the strip mall or not. And so what happened was he owned businesses in the strip mall at first, right? So they were renting or leasing the space, and then he eventually bought that little, complex, that little strip mall.
I remember this used to be a vacant lot, and people used to be scared to rent the lot. You guys came here, you changed it. People are pulling up. Every lot is rented, and at this point, if you guys still are interested in buying a lot, rather than kick you guys out, we're willing to sell it to you.
Yeah, so what it comes down to is that you have these cats who's from the neighborhood who the city doesn't respect because of who they are. Possibly, they're young black males, right, who are doing business and they're leasing from whoever these business owners were. And they like, oh, you're bringing people from the community to come and hang out, which actually revitalized that area because there wasn't any leasing at that moment. So you got this element that the city doesn't want, which is basically us and, the young people of that neighborhood, and who's basically bringing people together and uniting around their causes that says, okay, since these businesses are there and we don't want them, we're going to take it to another level to say that the people who are leasing to these businesses need to kick them out, basically to end those businesses.
And the pressure being put on by the police and the DA to say, hey, even though, people who, the one little lease you have, kick them out because we don't want them here. So they're trying to control what's happening within the community, and not just because of any particular issues that are there, but they want to keep business owners basically approved by the DA and approved by the system, so to speak.
Yep.
And there are so many things that they could do because they do it all the time. Because you have all those zoning things,
It's
you have
everywhere.
licensing and stuff that they could get in the way of to stop your business. Maybe you have an alcohol license or something that they could get in the way of. Even like you have a barbershop right there and stuff like that. You can
I don't want to
make up
steal
any
all
sort
their
of thing,
content.
trash and no.
I said I was looking for something appropriate for Nipsey, his legacy, and this definitely had to be heard by everyone. This is not just LA, this is everywhere. This happened with my grandparents. You guys know that I'm from the wrong side of town. Lived there all my life. Still live on the wrong side of town. Maybe not as dangerous, but I still do. And as much as I don't like to say anything negative, I was just telling somebody today how afraid I am of the people that are supposed to protect us. And it's just how it is. I don't do anything to try to get in trouble, and I do everything I can in a car to not draw attention. Period. So, facts. Rest in peace.